EMC Secure Remote Services, or ESRS, is a two-way connection between EMC and your EMC product that enables proactive remote monitoring, diagnosis, and repair. Proactive includes 24/7 remote monitoring through an IP connection. Secure includes rigorous encryption and RSA digital certificates. Virtual enables customers to allow or deny access. Simple means detailed and easy review of remote support activity. Here is how ESRS works. ESRS will reside in the enterprise VMware or Hyper-V instance provided by the customer, and physical hardware is no longer needed. Pre-built software solution that is packaged, updated, and maintained as a unit. Connect Home events are sent through ESRS to EMC that include configuration files and system-generated alerts. If troubleshooting is required, a request goes through ESRS and queries the optional policy manager if applicable. The customer has 3 permission settings: always allow, never allow, and ask for approval. EMC can use the connection to address problems or preventative maintenance. All communications between the customer site and EMC are encrypted with advanced encryption standard AES 256 algorithm and initiated from the customer site by the ESRS over port 443 and 8443. Using industry standard secure sockets layer and transport layer security SSL TLS encryption over the internet and an EMC signed RSA digital certificate for authentication, the ESRS client creates a secure communication tunnel. All EMC personnel must be authenticated to work on support service requests, and all customers have the option to accept or deny remote support activity. ESRS server requirements. ESRS has specific site requirements which are specified in the ESRS Site Planning Guide available at support.emc.com. EMC customers must provide the following: an IP network with internet connectivity, the capability to add ESRS appliance and policy manager servers to the network, network connectivity between the ESRS appliance and the EMC devices to be managed by ESRS, internet connectivity to EMC's ESRS infrastructure by using outbound ports 443 and 8443. Optional internet connectivity to EMC's ESRS infrastructure for failed over Connect Home by using outbound port 990 for FTPS and port 25 for SMTP. Network connectivity between ESRS appliance and policy manager. ESRS Preparation. The following is needed to set up ESRS: hypervisor, vSphere, Hyper-V, static IP address, default gateway, DNS server, mail server, optional customer proxy server, optional ESRS policy manager, registered EMC account. ESRS software package has been downloaded and is available for installation. Powering on the virtual machine and accepting the license agreement. Power on the virtual machine and you will be presented with the license agreement. At the license agreement screen, review the license and then use the short key Q to get the Y prompt. Accept the license by selecting Y for yes and then pressing Enter Yes. The ESRS loads for the first time and that host and domain name screen displays. Provisioning ESRS V3. In the host name and domain name screen, enter your chosen host name and your company domain name. Then select Next or Tab to continue. In the network configuration screen, you need the Set Fixed IP address. Select Change Alt-C option and then tab or select Next to continue. In the Network Interfaces screen, select Network Interfaces. In the Network Settings screen, select Edit. In the Network Card Setup screen, tab the field and enter information for static IP address, subnet mask, and hostname. Select Next. Verify details and then select OK. In the Network Settings Host Setup screen, tab to the DNS field and enter the IP address of your DNS service and then select OK. In the Network Settings Default Gateway screen, specify the default gateway IP address used by your network and then select OK. In the Network Interface screen, select Next or F10. In the Setting Configuration screen, when configuration is completed, select Next or F10. In the Clock and Time Zone screen, set up time zone, then select Next. In the Password for the System Administrator root screen, set up the root console, use password, then select Next. International customers should use the test keyboard layout field to make sure the password entered is as expected. The ESRS V3 expects a US keyboard. Select Next again. Important, record your password. If you forget your root credential password, then you must perform the first boot install again to set up the root credentials. The system cannot retrieve your credential information, and there is no default password for root during first installation. You must manually set up password at this time. In completing the system configuration screen, when configuration is complete, select Next. The machine gets booted, and the WebVE Web UI prompts are shown. This completes the first boot installation. You can now go to ESRS V3 Web UI. Root Logon and Admin Setup. Access the ESRS V3 Web UI using the following URL, either in Internet Explorer 9 or above, or in the Google Chrome web browser. Type https ESRS IP address 9443. In the username text entry box, enter root as a username. In the password text entry box, enter the root password that you have set up during the first boot installation. Click the Login button. The End-User License Agreement by clicking Accept, and then click the Submit button. In the Admin Setup page, set the admin password and then click Login as admin. Provisioning Screens ESRS V3 Setup. In the Primary Contact page, enter Primary Contact information. EMC uses the information provided in this section as the customer contact for the ESRS. EMC will reach the primary contact first regarding any ESRS queries. For international customers, please enter your phone number with 011 and then your country code and number. When the primary contact information is complete, click on the Submit and Go Technical Registration button. Status Primary Contact has been saved. Click on OK. Technical Contact page. You can skip this step by clicking the Skip Technical Contact button or enter technical contact information. Click on Submit and Go to Provisioning button. Status. Technical contact has been saved. Click OK for the Proxy Server tab. If a proxy server is not required, you can then skip this step. Click on Submit and Go to Network Check button. In the Network Check tab, you must run Network Check to check the connectivity between the ESRS UI Note Core and GAS Global Access Service. If all the tests are successful, then the results show connected green. If the test results are unsuccessful or unable to connect, then the result display is red circle and you will have to reconfigure their server information. To ensure communication integrity, proxy servers, security appliances, and cloud-based security services must not perform any method of SSL decryption on IP traffic between your ESRS solution and EMC's ESRS infrastructure. By design, ESRS will detect that the packets have been tampered with and will result in a breakdown of communication until the traffic is able to pass without being decrypted. Click Provision button. Enter EMC Online Support credentials to continue ESRS provisioning. EMC employee and partners must use Secure ID RSA FOB login credential to continue ESRS provisioning. When progressing to the next screen, the user will see a button, Email My Access Code. The user must click on this button. Based on the internet address used in the prior screen, this will cause an 8-digit code to be sent to the requester. When an email message is received that contains the code, the user must take that code and paste that into the dialog box that states Enter Access Code. After selecting the next button, the user will be presented with all site IDs associated with their username. The user must then select which site ID they wish to use for provisioning, followed by the next button. The provisioning goes through login, authorized software list download, downloading ESRS software configuration items, requesting ESRS RSA digital certificate from EMC Enterprise. If provisioning is successful, then the EMC certificates are installed in the ESRS provision are registered on the EMC Enterprise. Status: ESRS was successfully provisioned with serial number. Click OK. Email configuration. Provide mail server information to send notifications in the event of a Connect Home failure. If notifications of successful Connect Homes is desired, enable On Success notifications. Provide email server and its port details in the email server import text boxes. Provide an email address in the sender email section, which will be used as from address in the email notifications. Provide an email address in the notifications email section, which will be used as a recipients from any critical failed event notifications or failed call home on the ESRS. If you select Enable on Success notification, the customer will receive emails at call home is forward successful to EMC if configured. Multiple email users and distribution lists can be added by separating the names with a comma. Click Test button. The pop-up window indicated that the test email was successfully sent. Click OK button. Here's a screenshot of this email. Click on Submit and go to Policy Manager button. Status: email configuration has been saved. Click OK. Policy Manager. If you're using Policy Manager, it must be installed and operational, then completed the applicable information on this tab. To enable policy management on this page, enter the IP address, port number, and SSL strength, high. If you are not using SSL for communication to the Policy Manager, then clear the Enable SSL checkbox. If the proxy server is not used for communication to the Policy Manager, then clear those checkboxes as well. Click Submit and go to Connect Home button. In the Connect Home tab, you can configure and test the ability of ESRS to send Connect Homes via FTPS or a customer email server. These are automatically used by ESRS to send Connect Homes to EMC if the ESRS V3 connection to EMC becomes unavailable. Although not required, it is highly recommended that the optional Connect Home tab be configured. The customer firewall and proxy server may need to be configured to pass this traffic. Please see the port requirement document for port used on support.emc.com. Select both of the Connect Home connections. The Test button becomes enabled. Click the Test button to test connection to EMC. If the tests are successful, then the following message displays. Test Connect Home using email was successful. Test Connect Home using FTPS was successful. Click Completed Setup button. Setup completed. Click on the Home button that brings you to the ESRS Web UI dashboard. The dashboard is the home page of the ESRS V3 Web UI, which displays the entire information related to ESRS. You can use the dashboard to verify the statuses of the ESRS V3 and services. Information includes serial number, current version of the ESRS V3, connectivity status, the environment to which the ESRS is pointing, and where there is an update available for download. Best practice: optional dual ESRS high availability configuration. EMC Best Practice recommends implementing a high availability ESRS configuration. In this configuration, all ESRS appliances work as active-active peers to manage the same set of EMC devices. Each ESRS appliance provides service notifications and remote access on a first-come, first-served basis for any EMC-managed device. If one ESRS appliance is unavailable, all Connect Home and remote support activity will follow through the other ESRS appliance. It all depends on the device Connect Home configuration. If the ESRS appliance service becomes unavailable, then all Connect Home files will be sent to EMC through FTPS or SMTP. It all depends on the ESRS appliance configuration and the customer network rules. Any of the approved ESRS appliance configurations may be used to manage globally dispersed EMC devices. The only caveat is that ESRS appliance must have network access to each of the EMC devices it will be managing. In addition, paired ESRS appliance may also be globally dispersed. Each paired ESRS appliance must have network connectivity to all managed devices. The ESRS Solution High Availability clients are synchronized through the heartbeat process and do not communicate directly with each other. ESRS V3 GUI Overview. System Status tab. This tab displays the operability of your system. Although all elements are crucial, special attention should be made to the sections Connecting to, Connectivity Status, Policy Manager if applicable, SSL, and Certificates. If you notice any errors or have any areas of concern, please contact your local EMC representative. Remote Sessions tab. You will be able to view remote sessions that EMC has initiated to your monitored devices. You will see such information as the serial number being accessed, what application is being used, as well as the employee ID of the EMC support person that is accessing the device. Active MFT sessions. Please note that although this tab will be visible, it will initially not be utilized. It is being pre-positioned for future growth. EMC products that will utilize the REST API will use this tab to send usage intelligence to EMC. In addition, products will have the ability to send large files to EMC utilizing this channel. We will keep you informed of all updated information. Connect Homes. The Connect Homes tab displays total file count, oldest file age, as well as all the files that are present in the poll directory of ESRS Virtual Appliance that have yet to upload to the ESRS portal at EMC. This portal is called Service Link by EMC employees. Alerts. When there is a change in the status of your ESRS virtual appliance, any events that need user attention are displayed on this page. All the alerts for this particular ESRS Virtual Edition are displayed with options to acknowledge and acknowledge all alerts. You can click on each record to get additional details. Service Status. In the Service Status tab, the status of each service related to your ESRS Virtual Edition appliance are displayed. Green circle indicates that the service is running. Red circle indicates that the service has stopped or not working. You can always check the banner to see if the system is healthy or not healthy. On the upper right-hand side of the GUI is text that displays whether or not your system is healthy. Update tab. The Update tab provides the information on the current version of ESRS, latest updates available from the ESRS backend, and a summary of previously downloaded updates along with release notes. Change contacts. Please note that once the provisioning is completed, you have the ability to modify primary and technical contact information. This data would be useful in the event that EMC needs to notify either or both of the listed individuals. To view or modify contact information, please select Customer Contact from the configuration menu within the ESRS V3 GUI. You have the ability to modify primary and technical contact information. Change V3 GUI Password. You will have the ability to change the password that is used to log into the ESRS virtual appliance. Once logged into the GUI, please proceed to the Admin section and select Change Password. You will receive a prompt to enter the existing and new passwords. Once the new password is accepted, you will be logged out of your existing session. You will then need to log in using the newly created password. Alternative connectivity methods. With ESRS V3, you will now have the capability to utilize alternative connectivity methods. The two methods are FTPS and email. This exciting new feature set means that if the primary call home mechanism of ESRS is not available, any event files queued will be sent back to EMC via FTPS or email. Please note that these options are available only if selected. From within the GUI, under the Configuration menu, please select Connect Home. You will need to select Enable Failover FTPS or Enable Failover Email. Customer Email Configuration. Another new feature is the capability to receive emails when event files are sent to the appliance en route to EMC for processing. This is a new feature and allows you to be proactively notified in case of issues with your EMC monitored systems. Please note that this method simply tells you that a file has been sent home. To view or add email recipients, please select Email Configuration under the Configuration menu. An additional note that the email server defined is your SMTP server and not the ESRS virtual appliance. Email configuration. If you select Enable on success notification, the customer will receive emails at call home is forward successful to EMC if configured. Provide email server and its port details in the email server import text boxes. Provide an email address in the sender email section, which will be used as from address in the email notifications. Provide an email address in the notifications email section, which will be used as a recipient from any critical failed event notifications or failed call home on the ESRS. Click Test button. The pop-up window indicated that the test email was successfully sent. Click OK button. Here's a screenshot of this email. When event files are sent to the appliance en route to EMC for processing. This is a new feature and allows you to be proactively notified in case of issues with your EMC monitored systems. Please note that this method simply tells you that a file has been sent home. Device Deployment Management. Once your EMC ESRS virtual appliance is provisioned, you will have the capability to deploy and manage devices in your environment. To deploy a device, you must be aware of the serial number and IP addresses of any device that you wish to include for monitoring. From the Devices menu, please select Manage Device. then select Add. When the dialog box appears, you must enter the serial number, IP address, and model. In addition, please note that depending upon the model, you must be aware of the suffix type. Using VNX as a reference, you must select whether this is a block or file system. Once you have entered the appropriate information, please select the Request Update button. This will send a notification to the EMC ESRS portal under your virtual appliance serial number that a request has been sent that will need to be approved. Once you have completed this process, please contact your local EMC representative to approve this request. Please note that at this time, device adds are not automatically approved. Deployed device validation error. For a device to be deployed so that it can be properly managed via ESRS, there are various EMC systems that must process this request. On rare occasions, under your list of managed devices, you may occasionally notice a validation error. To view this error, select the appropriate device. Further settings on the right side of your screen, you will notice the letter I. If you place your mouse over that letter, the text "Fetch Additional Details" will appear. When that button is selected, at the bottom of the screen, you will notice a section called Validation Status. Please note any listed errors and contact your local EMC representative. Change device IP address. Once you have deployed a device on your virtual appliance, you will have the capability to modify the IP address if necessary. To perform this action, from the Devices menu, please select Manage Device. Select the appropriate device, then select the Edit button. When the dialog box appears, modify the IP address as desired. The next step would be to select the Request Update button. Please contact your local EMC representative to approve this request. Policy Manager. If you are an EMC customer with an existing ESRS infrastructure that includes a policy manager, you will have the ability to add your policy manager to the ESRS V3 GUI so that it can manage your devices. To make this addition, you must know your IP address of the policy manager as well as the port being used. Under the Configuration menu, please select Policy Manager. Select the Enable Remote Policy Manager checkbox. You will then need to input the IP address, port number, and SSL strength high. Note that on ports, the only two that are utilized are either 8090 or 8443 preferred. If you are unsure of this data, please contact your local EMC representative for assistance. General Overview V3 System Logs. From the ESRS V3 GUI, click on Logs tab. VE Agent folder is where the Xgate and Watchdog logs are located. The Watchdog log allows us to check the ESRS V3 client status and connectivity to EMC, and the Xgate.log captures connection activities and errors which are helpful in troubleshooting issues.